Welcome to No Shame, episode 74. A man I've been promising to get on again. The toughest motherfucker I think I've ever met in my life. I think anybody's ever met in my life, but the hammer. Yeah,
Good to be back.
We had,
good to be back.
I will be back.
Exactly.
we had him on the last time, but I think you were rushing the last time.
Yeah.
Excuse my pun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a podcast. I can be on every weekend.
Dead. People are going to say, get him on every weekend. It'll be the No Shame, hosted by Paddy, Holohan and the Hammer. We need a co-guest. So 2 huge things have happened to you since the last time you were on. So you've obviously became a daddy in the daddy club now.
Yeah, it's been great, to be honest. It's incredible. Everybody always speaks about it, but it is true until you actually feel it yourself, you don't really realize what it's like. And it's been great, honest to God. Like, I've had my little run-ins. Like, one of the days I was actually sitting with the baby, and then I realized the baby had like mad rush all over his face, like red. And I thought, what the hell is this? Like, I must have broken the baby. I was like, panic. I went on fucking Google. I nearly got a fucking dermatology degree by the end of it. I googled everything. Turns out I was just kissing him so much that my beard gave him a fucking rush. It was all good. I was like,
I was going to say that you don't Google shit when it comes to baby.
Oh man, it was.
But isn't it mental that they like Chelsea goes weird at me. Like you say, he coughs in the middle of the night, and I'm like straight up. Yeah, puts that mad instinct into you, doesn't it?
Mad, yeah. Well, with me now, obviously I'm getting ready for a fight, so I have an arrangement with my girlfriend that I sleep in a separate room because obviously I have to train and I have to be full on. I'm going into wars, so I'm the provider. She's the one that takes care of the home and the baby, so that's the kind of.
Is she formula feeding the baby or breastfeeding?
She's breastfeeding the baby, yeah.
That's tough as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's tough as well. But to me, like I was like, look, I talked to the doctor. He said that's the best thing. So that's it. You're breastfeeding, and she herself as well wanted to do it as well. Like you want to give your baby the best. I wasn't breastfed and I grew up okay, but if you have an opportunity to do it, then why not? Just do it.
No, it is. It's it's not. Like, but I just think it's a huge. It's a huge humbling experience to watch, isn't it? Like in a way, you're just so beginner. You just have nothing.
It's something else, yeah. Just even like from everything, like just everything from handling the baby to everything. Like I don't know. It just feels so new and so you're just so careful and so worried and just so I don't know. But I honestly enjoy it. I was just saying to people, like, it's once you have a baby, it's weird. Like there could be like rain outside, financial crisis, whatever you want. Once he smiles at you, things are good.
Yes.
Everything is amazing.
Yes.
But then it works the other way as well. If you could be a millionaire, everything is great, but then your baby is crying and you don't know why. That's it. Things are bad until you make him stop crying, until you figure out what is wrong. Nothing is good anymore. Nothing makes sense. Why are you crying? What's wrong, baby? Carry him. This, that. Change the nappy. Feed him.
Anything.
Yeah, anything. But it's great.
If you see a videotape of yourself, like, I don't know if you ever see a video of yourself when you're talking to your baby, it's like, is that what it looks like? Is it? I I'd be singing the Jungle Book and not even know the words. I'm the king, swingers, boy.
Yeah. I'd be terrified to sing even when I was alone. I wouldn't sing. I'm such a bad singer. Here I am, trying to sing to my baby, like, and somehow he is laughing. I'm like, great. Normally people cry when I sing. He is laughing. Great.
You should try some of your dancing, because I'm pretty sure
I will. I'll do anything. That's with the baby. I find myself, just acting like an idiot, in front of him for a little smile. I do anything. So
it's like an energy source.
It's honestly.
Say when you were driving toward the hospital when it was all going down, was this the first time the Russian was really scared? I was really scared.
And even like at home, the moment she said to me, I think I'm feeling something. That's it, we're going to hospital. She's like, no, I don't want to go. No, we're going. So I had to go there because I made her go and then come back and then go again. But I don't care. I said, look, I'll go there 1,000 times, but I am not taking no chances here. I'm taking you straight to the hospital.
How long was she going for then? So from that moment, that was probably hours.
So it was that moment, and then from the moment that we actually went in and they admitted us into the hospital, it was like 36 hours.
Oh, yeah.
It was hell.
There's a tip I've given on this show before as well. Wait till the contractions are 2 minutes in between. If you time them, right? Because then it's only coming to sit. Now, I didn't know this stuff, and I was panicking. I was like, you better not get this wrong, Chelsea, because this is shit you can't get wrong.
Oh.
You know what I mean? We'd be in Dortmund's barn and I'd be bleeding. You know what I mean? Hold them in. You know what I mean? But like, that's a great tip for it, because then we got in that 4 hours.
4 hours.
Done. Everything. Sorted.
Jeez, that's cool.
Top tip, telling you now, boys. 2 minutes between contractions. Now, don't say to your girlfriend if she's going to the labour, listen, don't worry about this, I have it sorted. Paddy Holohan knows. Don't say this, but this is a good tip. Try slide her in on the slide. 2 minutes in between contractions. Time them. In between, that means that you're not going to be sitting around all day, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Buying them expensive stale sandwiches in the queue.
Yeah. But also, like, you know, it's once they give you the epidural, it seems to be okay then, but for a long time they don't give it
Did you get one too?
Yeah, sure. Well, I wanted one. I swear, I wanted one. I was like, look, don't mind her. Where is that gas? Where is the epidural? Give me 2.
Yeah.
2 epidurals, please.
It would have been the same.
But honestly, that's what I found. Once you kind of got that, but up until that, they don't give it to you until like whatever, you know, certain dilation happens.
Yeah.
Whatever. So that was the longest part. That was the longest wait because she was already in pain, but they won't give the epidural until like certain, you know, things happen. So I was like, I was feeling sorry. I was like, look, if I could, I would take the pain, like no problem. But you know, you're just there watching, like, you know, feeling sorry for her. Like,
and you know what? Of all of the lads, I'm sure like, she's like, you know what? I believe it. The Artem, if the hammer could take it, he would take it.
I don't think I would be able to survive the pain because it looked like painful as hell. Like,
Listen,
oh my god,
serious respect, isn't it?
oh
like,
my god, like Jesus, it's honestly like. But after that, I'm going into the fight like. It's nothing. Honestly,
like,
bring me 10 guys.
I've seen beat, motherfucker.
chance.
So now you have a little son, so Artem, AJ.
Ah, great, yeah.
Little
Artem Maximus.
Oh, Maximus. Is Maximus Aurelius?
Yeah, it's his second name. Yeah,
Is it?
Artem Maximus.
Is Maximus after Maximus Aurelius or?
No, just you know, to us, kind of, you know, obviously, you know, it has the gladiator connection, but really, the way we were thinking is like Maximus means the greatest. And he is the greatest thing that ever happened to us. So we thought, we name the greatest, you know.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And now I never look. I was thinking, I was like, there's no doubt he has a granddad named Maximus or something like that. I was like, yeah, no, my granddad is their Maximus. They're descending of. But even in that story, you ever see that? The story of the Maximus Aurelius.
The gladiator?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's very good, isn't it? Do you see, the idea? See the idea of his son? It's actually mad it is because it's like, it's kind of popular in MMA now as well. Like, but his son was like fighting like bum gladiators, as you would say, padding his record.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? His son was doing that, right?
There you go.
And became an absolute like god to the people. And he was setting up fights like with like gladiators that wouldn't dare fight back, and he was killing them all.
Yeah.
And then one of the head gladiators found out what he was doing is he was sending them out with blunt swords and stuff like this. And boys couldn't kill him. He was set up in fights and padding records.
There you go, record padding goes all the way back.
All the way back to the
I hate them now, and I'd hate them back then as well.
Pointuous, I think is
I'd be fucking now. I'm on Twitter calling them out. Back in the day, I'd be scraping on the walls. No fucking 2 record padders.
in a little cloth. You know, it suits you as well. It would. You'd blend in well back in that time as well. But now, as I said, you have a little son, AJ now. So
it's great, yeah.
Now your legacy really starts.
It's great. And even like for, you know, I thought a lot about people say, oh, like having a son or having, you know, a kid, you know, adds motivation. And I was kind of really trying to think of it from point of view, how does that work? And I think I realized what it does. It's not even that it gives him, like, for example, me, I was already as motivated as ever going into fights. There was no way I was going to like quit or stop or anything. I was there till death. But what it does do is when you have a kid now, for example, back in the day when I have a bit of free time, I'm going out with friends, go for drinks. Now, no, I don't do any of that. I go straight home, I sit with my baby.
Yeah.
And so what does that mean? That I don't drink as much, I don't go out as much, I just train home because I have the baby. And that in itself brings results because you're only training and resting. So the longer you do that for, you become a better and better athlete.
Yes.
And then your results show. So then people think, oh, it's because you're more. No, it's because your lifestyle is like this now, and that helps in itself.
We were talking about persistence in that, like, or consistency. Sorry,
yeah, it helps you be consistent. It helps you be consistent.
I think consistency in everything pays off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Consistency in making toast pays off. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
you get better at making toast.
Yeah.
So then, like, your second part, as I was saying, you've started. So you've had a baby, which is to me the most important thing you will ever do in your whole life until it happens. It's like, it's crazy. You fear that as a youngster, but it's the most incredible thing that ever happens. I was lucky that happened when I was young, and it made me realise, like, I think that's where I kind of, I won't say where I've got knowledgeable because I don't fucking know everything. But I know a little bit about, like, emotions and people.
And you were ready as well for this baby coming. You knew what to expect. You know,
enjoyed it.
You really enjoyed it, yeah. Because like for me as well, like I enjoyed it, but I almost like kind of like now think, oh, what was that and what was that? But it's all gone. The moment is gone. It happened so quick.
Yeah.
So now let's say if I was to have a second one, I'll be ready. I'll be, I'll savor those moments.
Is it kind of like your first fight, do you think? Kind of, it's
it's
the
kind
same.
of in a way, yeah.
You're in the
a way.
same. I don't know. I won't say.
I was just a lot
genre.
more nervous now than I was for the fight, but other than that, like similar emotions for sure. Like concern with
you can go through the emotions of a fight.
Not knowing, not knowing. That's the biggest thing for me. Is that's why a lot of the fighters, they always talk about this, the jitters walking into the cage, because you don't know what to expect. But once you're in the cage, this is familiar. I've been here before. Then the nerves kind of start to come down, and as soon as a few punches are thrown, then the nerves are completely gone because we're doing what I always do.
Yeah, same with the kiln when you walk to the desk and you're like, listen, this is where the few punches have been thrown. It's like getting it together. I remember one of my mates saying to me, and it was the scariest way I've ever seen it being put, right? And this was on my first show. We were only young, my mate fainting, right? He's mad, he is. Now, and he was actually walking out of the hospital as I was walking in, and he had a look on his face. Run, man, run. That's what it was like, right? But this is what he said to me a few days before we both went in at the same. Like, we both went in to have kids, our first kids, and we were young, right? And he says to me, "Isn't it mad that we're going to walk into a building, Paddy, and then we're going to walk out with a baby forever?" I remember being like, forever. Yeah. And it's mental. Like 11 years later, he's still there.
Yeah.
My young fella, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, he wasn't missing when he said forever. He's still hanging on here. But then you start a new career as well. So when I say a new career, because I think we always looked at fighting as fighting, am I right? And people are at different levels. Now, you are definitely at the the crazy end of like, listen, I need to know whether am I going to quit or what's going to go on. Like, you are like having your own battle in my head. And if someone said to me, who's the toughest on the team, I'd say Artem. Easy. Because you were always seeking out, we were talking about this downstairs as well, seeking out the best man to go against. And not only that, but it was like you were fighting yourself, even in some spars. Like, I've seen you spar in Conor at times where, like, there's been less action in boxing fights I've seen in them spars, or less action in some MMA fights. I've seen you and Conor going at it in the gym. Like, in a situation where, when someone sparred, as I was saying, the boys are downstairs in my gym now, they come in on a Sunday, they sneak in, they do the snakes, right? And they batter each other, right? Because we don't let it happen, right? When we're sparring.
Yeah.
But there were times when, like, when someone starts looking at someone saying, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
And you and Conor be going up and down, through spars, everything.
Yeah, but I want to say, maybe with me, for example, maybe it's because I started like quite late, when I was already like, let's say 21. That's when I started, so I didn't kind of grow up in that environment. So when I looked at the sport, I was looking and reading what people are saying, and all I saw, everybody always saying, oh yeah, I want to be the best in the world, I want to fight the toughest guys, I want to see the toughest challenges. So I took that for face value always. I thought this is the way to be. I was like, yes, that makes sense, that is a normal thing to do, to truly challenge yourself, to go into a fight not knowing whether you win or you will lose. You don't know that. And even looking at that guy, fuck, the chances are stacked against me. I probably could lose here, but let's see, can I get it done? Can I get through this? Can I defeat this guy? And remembering, like reading all these stories about even the Spartan or the 300, how they, faced a challenge much greater than what they possessed and still managed to go through. I always got inspired by that, and I thought, this is what people do. So I fucking just done that. I went out and done that. But when I actually landed in the sport and started seeing how things were, I very quickly realized that people just say one thing, but they actually do completely the fucking opposite. 100%. Everybody says how they want to fight the best guys and whatever, but when you look at the guys they fought and the records, it's nowhere near. And you can see the whole sport of boxing and MMA, it's just going like terribly wrong, especially boxing, because MMA is still a new sport and it's evolving constantly, but boxing is terrible. You've got, everyone has a fucking belt, everyone is undefeated, and nobody fights each other. What the hell is that like? What the fuck is that? And you can see as a result as well, the fighters are the ones that suffer from it. Yes. You have 10-0 guy, professional athletes selling tickets, because that's how it works in boxing. If you're not signed to a management company, you have to sell tickets first to pay your guy that you're gonna fight. To bring him in, that's what the promoter tells you. Okay, you wanna fight? No problem. You need to sell 1,000 euros worth of tickets to pay for your opponent, and then if you wanna get paid, whatever you sell, you get paid on top. That's crazy. How a professional athlete, that's your word. Professional means you get paid to do something. Imagine you're a school teacher and I tell you, okay, you need to sell 1,000 euros worth of tickets so tomorrow you can come in and teach. And even if you only sell 1,000, you will come in tomorrow, teach for free. Like, people say, no, that's crazy. But that's what happens in boxing. Guys fight for free all the time. All the time, they sell tickets to pay for their opponent, and then if they don't sell enough, they get nothing. They just show up and fight for free. Professional athletes. That's crazy.
I find what happens in, say, combat sports is, especially when it comes to the professional thing, that the promoters use the words in a certain way than the fighters actually benefit from them. So say the word professional, the word purse, the word say half the fight, half the win. All of these kind of things where, like, from the outside, it's like, oh, they're making it interesting. But the only person that is suffering from it is you're right. Because fighters, if you're not making enough money now to withstand your legacy, your kids, like all of this stuff that comes along with this, like, could you imagine being in a situation where, like, you're having a kid now and you have 4 fights, but you never got smart, if you must. You were never around people that had cop on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You end up in a situation where you're like, you're like a broke fighter. As I was saying downstairs, the worst thing you can be in this game, and probably this world, is famous and broke.
Definitely. But honestly, what I would like to see happen in boxing and in MMA, I don't want to see none of this record putting. You want experience? Amateur. That's your experience. You know, you've got, especially boxers come in from amateur background, they've got like 200 fights. What experience do you need, mate? You don't need no more experience. You've got all the experience you want. No more of this fake fights, because another thing that I don't like about it, it's not a real fight. Because when they're bringing a guy for you to beat, that's not a real fight. No. He knows he's there to lose. Yeah. He knows his job is to lose. That's not a competitive fight. So you're charging people tickets for not real fights. For a fight that the outcome is already predetermined, basically. So get rid of all them. Just leave real guys, you know, like real fighters. There's going to be a lot less fighters. So as a result, there's going to be probably less shows. But everybody will be getting paid. Quality. All the professional fighters will be getting paid from early on. And then slowly you build your career. I mean, you could have a transition period, let's say, when you first turn from amateur to pros. And you go, let's say, first 6 months you fight 4 rounds. Second 6 months, then you fight, you know, up to 8 rounds. And then 10 and 12. And within 2 years, you're up to 12 rounds. Something like that. Just a system. But no more record putting. Get rid of them completely. Real fights, real competitive fights, and everybody getting paid good money and don't need to sell tickets. That's what I would like to see.
So, like, a perfect example would be the Tyson Fury and the AJ fight. It's like, right, why haven't they fought?
Exactly.
Why not? Do you know what I mean? It's just
he's a world champion. He's a world champion. He's undefeated.
Everybody wants to see it,
and they're not fighting. How is that fucking happening?
Money.
Imagine if you had to fight for Liverpool and Manchester to play for 5 years.
This is like,
imagine that.
Yeah, and this is
that'd be crazy.
This is something that fight fans don't look at it like when they're looking at it like a sport. You know what I mean? It needs to be on the level of sports, because it's put on this mad elite level of like where one guy steps forward and one guy doesn't, but that guy, even that doesn't, both people standing on that, their futures needs to be secure if they're willing to put, like, you would never get, as you said, Manchester United and Liverpool saying, right, we're going to play, imagine the Premiership playing each other into like to fatality, if you must. Yeah. When you lose, you go to Division 3 and you never come back. That's what fighting's like. Yeah. You don't get like 30 matches a season to prove yourself.
But that's because of the record putting, because people have built this fake perception that you will be undefeated. Whereas look at like Premier League, every team loses every fucking season. Every season, every single team loses, and people still watch it. Why? Because people watch it for competitiveness. They don't actually, of course they want certain team to win, but what they really want to see is a competitive game, and they want to see it again and again and again. And the same in fights. If we got rid of all this record fighting, we would have so many classic, fights where people let's say someone like Mayweather and Pacquiao, they would meet each other earlier on in the career, and then they would meet each other again in the middle of their career, and they would probably meet each other again when they're towards the end, and it would be different results, and it would be so great to see. Instead, what we're seeing, one is fucking fighting bombs, building, the other fighting bombs, building himself, avoiding each other. Then they're 50 years old, nowhere near the level they were, and now they fight. Great.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, what's the good in that?
Are we in a situation now where you're saying that? Because say if you look at boxing back in the day when it was like old school, and then you will see what you were saying there. You will see these trilogies, these classic trilogies that came up.
And that's great. Look at the fights that happened back in the day.
This is what I'm saying, yeah. So
and that's what needs to happen.
But then did we get to a situation where it was like, right, hold on, perception is worth more. Like in the idea of like, where lads, I don't think were looking at records in a way, but it was like, no. People, like, it was like promoters or market. It's like twisted people's mind in a way to be like, right, when they're undefeated, it means that they're worth so much more. And now everyone was not only concentrating on the fight, they're concentrating on the fall. They're concentrating on like he's 20 now. I want to see what happens when he loses, and it really brings it to a negative place. Are we like this? Are we in this situation? Are we in this era of MMA now where guys are building up records to be these?
And also another thing, what promoters need to open their eyes. No, look, it does not work anymore. The record padding doesn't fucking work. And look at the promotions that didn't do it. UFC. There's no really record padding there. You just and look, it's doing perfect. Yeah. And yes, each guy has his own story. Some stay undefeated for a while, then they lose. Whatever, doesn't matter. People watch it for competitive fights. And look at all the undefeated guys that are broke around the world. It doesn't work anymore, guys. So give it over. Just fucking let's fight. And that's it. Let's get rid of all this record padders and let's get rid of all this fake fucking records. Let's all just fight. And that will, when we all start fighting, all these wannabe fighters, they'll drop off very easy. Because if you're a fighter and you know you have to fight every fight, a real fight, trust me, you don't want to hang around there too long. You don't want to do it. You take one ass whooping, you take one real fight where you fucking go home the way I went home after my last fight, and you're like, maybe that ain't for me. And you will see very quickly, all the guys will drop off and only the true fighters will stay. There's going to be less of them and there's going to be a bigger pot for them. They will all get rewarded appropriately. They will all be earning, feeding their families, and all the fans will be seeing great fights all the time.
No, we agree. We agree because it is being made a situation where fighting is no, it's really, really safe. Listen, you can do this program and then you just jump in and do it. If you were a fighter, that's not the case. That's not the way it is. You shouldn't be jumping in and taking risks which are, well, call it, me saying this is a hypocritical, taking risks which are healthy if you must, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, listen, fuck it. Like, someone only said that I was answering a question there and they were saying to me, when you were getting paid €100 and stuff like that for fights back in the day, what was your motivation like? And all of the questions from the journalist, now the young fella was a good journalist, and I'm going to get this back to you, don't worry, an interview right that you gave to me. Most of it was about, I could see like even the tail of the questions was about, so when you made money and you got famous and you got like, how were you motivated when these things weren't there? And I'm like, because that's what the real part of this is. That's the
How am I motivated? The fucking stomach is hungry and I haven't got anything to buy the food, so I go to fucking gym and
it's the nucleus, isn't it? It's like when you're walking around and all of a sudden you just don't know what your passion is. You don't know what your life is. And this is where I think a lot of people can go down the road of drugs and all of these kind of things, because if you find a skill and you find a passion where doing drugs and going out and messing hinders that, it becomes a really great buffer. Yeah. So to me, I was finding something that was just stopping me going down crazy roads, and it just happened to start growing. But like, I think for yourself as well, it was never for, right, we're going to do this for 10 years and then we're going to get paid a few euros. Like we said to somebody about €10,000 or something, said my first fight I was paid €10,000 or something in the UFC, and they were like, Jesus, €10,000. Yeah. And I'm like, do you know what's mad? Because I didn't want to abuse them on it, like saying, you fucking €10,000, you pay this, you pay that, like, that's it. But then I remember looking at €10,000 going, ooh, if I get this €10,000, this is it, life is sorted.
I remember I entered the 8-man tournament, 15,000 on the same night. You have to fight 3 fights on the night and you take 15,000. Oh man! And I lost in the final then to
Andre Winner. Yeah.
Oh, I could see the money already. And 15,000 to me at that time, when I used to get like €200-300 a fight, I was like, oh my god, I had it all spent already. Like, and when I just missed out on that, I was like, oh,
and
sick.
Did you get nothing in the end?
Nothing, zero.
But there's a good example. Say Andre Winner. Look, what's Andre Winner doing now?
Yeah, because he was in the UFC and everything, and then he kind of just dropped off.
No, great fighter. Yeah, great fighter. Not saying I put in an idea of like where we're talking about records that doesn't really matter that much. Where like you're a much bigger superstar than Andre Winner.
Probably at this stage.
100% there. No, probably. No fucking probably about it. Andre Winner looking at you, I guarantee he was. We would have been looking at your fight going, holy shit.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, for example, guys like Andre Winner, I want guys like this to do well, and he should be doing it because he is a real fighter.
Exactly.
But why he's not doing? Because there is a million of other fucking fighters, and it's so easy nowadays to become a fighter. Because once you have a few quid, I'm a fighter. You pad your record, pay the guys to show up and lose, and before you know it, you're 15-0, undefeated, big prospect. Do you know what I mean? Like, and the promotions will pick him up before probably they will pick up Andre Winner. Yes. And it's crazy.
Back to what Pontius was doing in the Roman days.
So now this motherfucker,
in the crowd,
15-0 with fake fucking fights, is stealing money from a guy like Andre Winner. That's my issue. Do you know what I mean? like
yeah, me
a
too.
guy that's done it and some motherfucker that just parted his record and he's gonna steal money off him. You know what I mean?
No.
That's what I don't like. That's what I don't like.
No, that is it. And do you know what I don't like? I don't like people that can tell you, like, yeah, but it's none of your business. No, it is my fucking business. It's like it's like who becomes the union after, like for trades workers and for these people after it. It's more than likely the experienced lads that are like, hold on, I got fucking caught like that. Don't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think the mind of the business thing only benefits the guys that are doing it, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Another one. So I was saying the worst thing you could probably be is broke and famous, which sounds like one of our friends.
Yeah.
Artem Maximus.
That's it.
Is this why we're going to see him? Because listen, when I was watching your fight, I think Conor said the best. He's like, he's gonna fucking quit all of a sudden, and that's not like him.
Yeah,
You know?
that's it. And you know, he is, that's the only reason he is doing it, because he is broke. That's straight up fact. That is a fact. That's not me trying to talk bad. And it is a little bit sad because, I mean, he did, win, belts back in the day, and he achieved. But that's what happens to you get a bit of that fame, you get a bit of the money. He went to LA, I believe he lived there for a bit, started probably splashing the cash a bit, and then people expect the same of you the next day and the next day and the next day, and before you know it, the money is gone.
You
and
go
you're back
broke
in with your
acting
parents.
rich. This can happen. You can go broke acting rich.
Go back.
But and there's a few millions. So there's even for young lads and people getting into this situation, getting into fighting. Like you could make 10 to 50 grand and do better than some lads that have made millions.
Yeah.
You got to be smart. You got to think about what's going on and what's going to happen at the fight, because fighting's only going to be a small
absolutely,
part.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? In 10 years, if hopefully you live to 90, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
That's nothing. Think about when there's a small amount of money in it. So with the Paddy thing, do you think he's going to show up?
He has to, I think. He needs the money, and that's it. And that's the only reason he signed with them. Listen, especially for boxers. Boxers especially, they always look at the bare knuckle kind of bit like, they have that little bit of a snobbiness, about them, the boxers. I always notice. They did that to MMA guys for a while, MMA, human cockfighting, this and that. They kind of forgot the history of boxing and how that came about, because boxing as well for many years was, not viewed as in a positive light. In Germany, for example, post-war it was prohibited completely. I mean, of course, given, it had to do with violence and Nazis and all that, but still, it was prohibited, and now it's considered gentleman's sport and this and that. But it didn't just come like this overnight. It was a long process. So give the other guys that are fighting respect that they deserve as well, because MMA fighters are also putting their bodies on the line. It's not easy. And bare knuckle guys, your belts in boxing and MMA, it came from bare knuckle. Boxing came from bare knuckle. So if you're a boxer and you're looking at bare knuckle like, whatever, no mate, you came from bare knuckle. The first fights were bare knuckle fights. The first belt ever won was 1882, won by an Irishman, John Sullivan, in a bare knuckle fight. The first ever belt. There was no belt before then. No belts. They never knew about belts. And this was the first belt ever won. And then all the other boxing belts and MMA belts started from that one belt, the bare knuckle belt. This is the belt that I'm planning to win later in the year.
You're the reincarnation of this John
Exactly.
Sullivan.
This is something I can do for the Irish.
If you haven't checked this lad out, John Sullivan, because I was having it look like the night you were fighting, right? I have to say, Artem, I won't say I usually fall asleep coming up to the things, but when you get tired, I couldn't. It felt like I don't know, someone's going to attack the castle or something like that. I think it's different. I think when you're watching, I'm a friend and a fan for all of the guys fighting, and loads of other lads even outside their club. You know what I mean? I'm still a fan of the build up. You know what I mean? But I was sitting there that night, man. It felt different. Artem,
it was good.
Standing up, sitting down. Flicking a switch, I was just really anxious, man. I have to say. Now, I think I always have a little bit of that, especially like if I was doing someone's corner, that and my friends, even guys that my own fighters now. I always have that little bit in me, you know what I mean? But that night, man, I was nervous, I have to say.
Yeah, it was good.
You were.
It was enjoyable. Yeah, it was good. To be honest, I really enjoyed it. Like I really enjoyed that fight, and I think there's a lot of positives in that fight, people talk about damage taken and this and that, but the damage that I took, let's say, it was mostly visual, like cuts, but cuts does nothing, okay, I have a scar on my face now, but in my profession, it doesn't affect me at all in my day-to-day life. Nothing, it's nothing. Okay, there's something on my face. I don't care about that. But let's say brain damage or something, not being able to remember your kids' names and all this, that's where the true problem lies. And to me, when you talk about that, fighting for 10 minutes is always going to be safer than fighting for 36 minutes or fighting for 25 minutes like it is in MMA.
Yeah.
So to me, that the argument ends right there in terms of safety. You know what I mean? You're only fighting for 10 minutes versus fighting for prolonged periods of time where you're getting consistent damage and you're tired, and then that's when the real danger happens, you know? So, I mean, not to say that one is better or safer than the other. All three of the sports are very dangerous, and that's why the fighter should be rewarded appropriately.
Yeah.
And that is, again, why I hate all the fucking record fighters that don't take all the risks that are involved in the sports, yet get the rewards. No, get the fuck out.
And that's like, and then say even outside the sport, the risks are like all day, every day. One of my students, right, was away in Turkey, and they were going to go paragliding, right? The Monday after, the two lads died paragliding on the same company in a way, right?
Yeah.
Now, you never really hear that about it. Paragliding's definitely not going to get banned, and it's not. But I think, especially for bare knuckle boxing and for MMA, it's visually where someone's definitely going to get hurt there. But like, then you see these lads jumping off the side of the mountain. It's like we're accustomed to it or something like this. Because I was saying this when after your fight, I was saying Artem is like a base jumper of MMA. He always was. Right? Some of them we're jumping off on parachutes, going, "This is deadly," and he's going, "Now watch this." You know, this is a wingsuit. Don't do it, Artem, because Artem's jumping. But like, if we were to be standing on the side of a mountain doing these things, and we had parachutes, and you had, like, say, bare knuckle is base jumping, people wouldn't really bat an eyelid, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where you can literally fall like thousands of feet to your face onto a rock.
Yeah.
Let alone like
Exactly. And people do it for free.
Man,
Do you know what I mean? Like, I feed my family with
people
it.
pay for it. That's the thing.
But, people, exactly, they pay for it to do it. And so, exactly, when people tell me this, like, oh, it's so dangerous. No, mate, I am living my life. I'm enjoying. Every day I get up and I don't have to work, I have to go to this work or whatever. No, I fucking run to fucking
Yeah,
work.
if I couldn't do it. Yeah, that'd be a harder life, that would be. You know what I mean?
And I done it before. It is hell. Honestly, I have a lot of
You
respect.
did the bank thing, didn't you?
I have a lot of respect for anybody working like a full-time
Me
job.
too, man.
It is fucking hell.
100%.
It's not easy at all. To do something that you don't like on a daily basis, and many people do, it's very hard, So, to me, fair play to them. I respect everybody that does it.
Except Leo and the boys. Leo Radgard and the boys, yeah? They don't get any praise.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't mind a job like that.
Yeah, because they have a job like this where it's like, it's loads of money, but it's not that much work.
Yeah. But where is work?
Yeah.
When do we start work?
So, say you're sitting in the dressing room, right, Artem, and this is, as I said, I'm sitting in the sitting room, you're sitting in the dressing room. It was different for me. I'd say it was much different for you, right, and different for everybody else watching it, because you were just about to do a moon landing for say, a group of individuals, if you must, you know what I mean? So none of us had ever stepped that far into fucking craziness, if you must, and I don't think any of us knew what was going on.
I was actually offered the fight like that about 6 or 7 years ago in the field, though. I was like, what, in the field? No fucking fight, and it was for 200 pounds or something.
Who got you that offer? Do we have to ask?
Yeah, can't even remember where it came from. Actually, it was Chris Fields told me, says, "Oh, my mate is asking, do you want to fight someone for a bare knuckle fight?" And then he said, "No, actually," he said, "it's going to be bare knuckle boxing, but wearing MMA gloves." And I was like, for 200 euros, I was like, it's a bit shit, but okay, fuck it, I'll do it. But then he said, no, it's in the field. And I was like, in the fucking field? No, I'm not doing it in the field. Like, I'm trying to build a career, and I'm trying to show that I'm a professional.
That definitely would have came back.
I definitely is not going to look good on me fighting in the fucking field. Like,
good decision for
so
the sport.
I didn't do it, but
so
this
is how tightrope the sport was on the way up. You know what I mean? I was like, if you had made that decision, we probably wouldn't be sitting here now.
Exactly, yeah.
But like, say, sitting in the dressing room and they're wrapping your hands and you're looking.
Yeah, wrapping my hands, something unusual for me, because for a bare knuckle fight, I have rub my hands.
Yeah.
And normally I wouldn't rub my hands, but it was good. I enjoyed it. I was really looking forward. To be honest, I was watching fights till the very last minute. I barely warmed up, and I was just wanted to see all the fights. I was like, this is great.
Is that the difference of it? Is it one of these things where, say, like Thai boxing, it starts off. Now you started off obviously fucking like. You started off fast.
this one was great. I mean, there was a
but
few.
Is that a gentleman kind of like, right? Not like I'm not going to hit you really, really hard, but is there the same pace to it?
I just fucking went forward. Fuck about no pace. We're here. I was like, I only got 2 minutes. You know what I mean? That ain't enough for me. So I better get started.
Yeah, say the 2 minutes is nice as well, because what's that? 2 minutes
It's
and 5
great.
rest. 5 minute
I
rest.
honestly think from the entertainment value, the best ever. It's really hard to have a boring fight and burn. I mean, having said that, there was a few guys. There was one guy running around, but you'll always get them, you know.
Yeah, but then the instinct kicks in as well for some lads where I don't think they even mean it.
Exactly.
But it's like they're just running then, you know what I mean?
But there's like a few actually cool things because there's the big, it's a circle there, but then there's another smaller circle in the middle.
It's called scratch line, isn't it?
And you can at any moment you can get in there and say, "Meet me here, motherfucker," and the other guy has to come up and meet you in the middle.
Oh, I like that. And you know what? It's like this was made for you. You know what I mean?
It's great.
You've been chasing this in MMA for ages, and it is one of these things I'm saying to somebody: when you get hit, the body just clench. Like even if it's outside, if it was a bleeding, say if you watch a YouTube, you watch a fight, right, and someone gets decked, instinct is to clinch. But with this one, you're probably going into the worst of it then with the clinch, isn't it? Because then it's.
Yeah, it depends as well, like what background you come from as well. Like for example, this fight against Paulie now, clinch is gonna favor me so much.
100%.
I'm number one, bigger than him, you know, so that's already gonna be any kind of grappling exchange. If you're the bigger man, you always will have advantage.
Leaning on the
and
neck.
then another thing, he just hasn't got a clue what to do in the clinch. You know, he's just an amateur in the clinch. That is just a fact. Like what is a boxer in the clinch versus a Thai fighter? Let's say,
no,
you know,
absolutely,
nothing. Or versus a Greco-Roman guy. And I'm not a Greco-Roman guy. Any Greco-Roman guy would kill me in a Greco-Roman match. But I fancy my Greco-Roman skills versus a boxer. I fancy my Muay Thai skills versus a boxer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So.
And I think I want to say we are humbled enough to understand as well that like there's many times I've been put into a Thai clinch by a Thai lad and absolutely rallied.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You can't get out.
You know,
you cannot fucking get out.
And you can admit that kind of thing on the other side of it, like, and then say the idea of a Greco-Roman guy, like all of a sudden you lean a little bit, boom, you're going through the air, and it's just the way it is. What's the why is there a difference there? Why is there a line between because even Conor's fighting this charity boxing match tonight was brilliant. What a great thing for his community. What a great thing for his opponent as well. But then all I see as the negative thing is that it's like moaning. His opponent saying
I've seen it as well. I was surprised with that. Like he's the guy that thought, "Oh man, you just got that was your lottery ticket. This is your chance to propel your fucking career." Instead of coming out moaning and all, give a good interview. Say, "Look, this was great. Get in the positive." Then make Conor will share it as well after. And you get more and you build on that and you get signed up. No, instead, you did. Come on, man. Seriously.
But did he really expect it? This is the mad thing, right? Because people say, yeah, but you haven't labelled yourself as a boxer, so that means that you can't box. Or that means that you can't, like, when it comes to fighting, that's a rule set in a way, right? Yeah. So, say when Conor's going in against this guy, like, did this guy really, like, he's a 2-time Irish champion, fair enough, but Conor's been in boxing for like 15, 16 years probably, you know what I mean? And I don't care, you do anything like that, you're going to get good. Like, and so you'll develop to it. And Conor has done that better than anybody.
Conor came from the club. There's no shame in that losing to Conor.
This is what I'm
saying. The club, Conor has been in that club before that guy even ever walked in through that door.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Conor has been in that club since he's 9 years old. So, he is a well-conditioned, well-versed boxer in the boxing ring. You know what I mean? There's no shame in losing to Conor. Absolutely zero. So the guy just should have been like, right, that's it. Doesn't matter. I lost, but so what? It was a great fight, great showcasing of the skills and take it to the next level.
He was happy. Get signed up. It's great to see him happy like that one because you can see him moving. I can see with his body that.
Conor loves fighting. It's like it's the same as when you've got a shark and you keep it in your bath at home. It's trapped, and then you set it free into the ocean. And it's jumping out and it's doing all kinds. And that's what's Conor. You can just see a person in his element, just getting the energy from all of it. Because he is in his element. You know what I mean? A gorilla released into the wild.
Yeah. So back to your fight there, right? So. There was some shots, right? I think on both sides as well. And you have to, like, your man bleeding, right? Let's give him a bleeding. Look, I know you've given loads of props and all. And I've heard you saying, right, if there was 100 people and you picked the wrong person, not him, that fight wouldn't happen.
Exactly, it wouldn't have, no.
Like, I don't think so. Because I thought, like, right, this guy's going to get overwhelmed by Artem straight away. But then I started remembering, like, I won't say I thought, like, a country American lad, but it's not in them, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I remember strangling a guy, like I never strangled anybody in my life like I strangled this lad and he didn't tap. Right?
The same, this guy, there was, he wasn't going to quit. Like,
there's just no quitting them. Yeah. Was there any shot that you smashed them with, you felt your hand sink in And then you step back and being like, right, there you go.
There was one actually. I think it was at the end of the second round. I thought that was it. That was going to get stopped. And to be honest, actually looking back, if you look at it, it should have been stopped. No, I don't mind it not being stopped. It gave a great fight, and the fact that Jason came back then and still fought showed that he was still in the fight. So why not? But what happened was I dropped him, but just right before I dropped him, the ref heard the clapper. He heard the clapper right around the time, so he let it affect it. He did the count, and then he says, put your hands up and walk towards me. And Jason just put the hands up like this and was like all over the place, so he's not able to continue. Should have been stopped right there. But because the ref knew that there's literally a second in the round, he was like, fight. And then the gong sounds, and he stopped it.
And he got the rest then.
Exactly, and he then got the rest and obviously came back. But that should have been stopped, because that's, as a referee, you should never let that affect you.
No,
you don't care what the time is. You're just assessing the fighter based on the fighter. Is this fighter able to continue right now? And no, he is not. You're stopping the fight. Doesn't matter if it's a second left or half a second left. You make your assessment and you make the stop right there and then.
And was there, on the other side of it then, was there ever a shot that you got hit with often where you were just like, fuck, that was heavy?
No, to be honest, I mean, there was shots flying left, right, and center, but there was nothing that I felt like really like rocked me or affected me. But towards the end, I was bollocksed already, and the reason I was bollocksed, number one, the pace was very different, because I aspired, let's say, 3-minute rounds against boxers, and much more rounds I would do than in a fight. But still, it's different because it's different pace. Here we just go, and that's crazy. Just sprint for 2 minutes, then rest again, sprint for 2 minutes, and that's very different to a boxing kind of spar, so that really tired me out. And another thing as well, when I saw him fall, I started then loading on my shots. I was like, I want to put him away, so I'm just gonna add a little more. And when you start loading on your shots, everybody knows that will tire you out, and there's actually less power. You should never load on your shots.
Heavy arms.
But for some reason, I know this, but you can't help but do it anyway in the fight, and that's what tired me out. So I was really tired towards the end, and I still wasn't able to put him away. So that's kind of, I was just tiredness towards the fatigue, but never really rocked and never really anything like.
A fantasy fight in bare knuckle boxing. Well, not even a fantasy fight, but a fight that you'd love to pull out of the sky and put together that you think would be a cracker.
Be some good ones, like there's loads, like it's hard to even say, like, but you'd want to see like some, like, like good boxers, like Cotto or someone, in a bare knuckle fight, them kind of boxers, like the real, fighters. The guys that will just, they will just bring it,
I'd love to see a rerun of Conor and Mayweather.
Well, that would be Jesus. That would be, but Mayweather would never do it. I would even want to see. Would love to see Conor and Mayweather too, even in the boxing ring still, because I feel with just the better preparation and now the experience that he gained from that, Conor would just do a lot. He already done a very good, I felt, in the Mayweather fight, but just small little mistakes to fix, and it would be great. But it was bare knuckle. Jeez, that would be really great.
I think the Diaz fight was a great example of that, wasn't it? With the idea of like him re-open and it just like recalculating the dials a tiny bit and then going again. You know what I mean? I think the same could be happening with the Khabib fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In that idea, so there's a few half-baked pies, if you must. Do you get what I mean? That situation.
I'd love to see them too. That's for Conor. I'd love to see them too. Like, I'd love to see the Mayweather rematch and Khabib rematch.
Was the bare knuckle boxing handy today, or was it more?
No, they were good to deal with. They were very professional. They come kind of from the boxing background, so they know fighters. They respect fighters. They know what fight game is like. So yeah, it's good. The president David Feldman, is very good. He looks after the fighters. So I have nothing but good things to say about the organization. I'm very happy.
You seem like a madman. No, I know, obviously, because I said the same thing when he did jump in, because I was saying this when he jumped in. I was like I'd say he was just in the moment.
Yeah, he was just in the moment and a huge fan. He's a huge fan of fighting. So when he just wants to see fights, he wants to see proper knocks. He's a fan. Like the same, and I see that kind of similarity between him and Dana White, because Dana White is a huge fan. Like people don't really get to see him on the Ultimate Fighter much, but when he's there, he's always there watching all the fucking fights, and he goes mad in there. He if somebody's a boring fight, he's fucking throwing shit at the cage. Then it's a great fight, he's up on his feet and he's fucking watching it and he's giving props. He's like truly in the moment.
Yes.
And that's what you need. You need a person like that at the helm, at the person that's going to run the company, because that person knows what fans want, and fans are the ones that pay pay the company, you know what I mean? And that person knows what the fans want. Why? Because he is a fan himself.
Times back in the day, I've seen people on cameras, the actual promoters, turning, facing away, looking into the crowd.
Yeah.
That's like a scale number 1 and number 10.
Yeah.
But I would agree with you on that. This week we are putting up the posters, right? So let me tell you something I've learned about putting up posters, right? So we've got a poster in the background here. So the general election is coming up on the 24th of May. We're running for the Jobstown constituency, but there's many all over the place, right? And people have been asking me like, why are there posters down there? Why are there? So my posters are circling Jobstown. My election posters are circling Jobstown now. But the night we stuck them up, right, there was this mad wind, right? Be careful, right? There's flying posters everywhere. Right, not mine, because mine are triple cable tie. They're not messing around. You know what I mean? But see even the posters, things I've learned about them. Aerodynamic purposes, right? Alright? Some of the posters that told a few inches out this way are gone. Right? These boys had this marketing, like engineering at its finest.
There you go. Politics is not easy.
No, it's not easy. You know what I mean? Knowing how to do posters. Yeah. But then the life and death situations of ladders. Alright? Going up a ladder on a lamppost. I was trying to consider, like, the round lampposts, they're dead. Because you have to get the middle way, because it's rocking. Now, there is some lampposts, you know, that have, like, the flat sides on it. So they're alright, so you can stick a ladder on it. But listen, we brought Jerry Vegas out. I don't know if you've seen the video. You seen the video? Never in my life have we seen a man born to do something. He was born to hang posters.
He has fucking posters on people's houses and all. People wake up in their bedroom. What the fuck?
Don't worry. Yeah, but we put somebody on a road, right, on this end, and him on the other end, right. But he had more to do, and all of a sudden, all you see is and here we have Jerry Vegas coming up the side. He passed like a group of lads out on his own. Lads like looking, there's Jerry. He didn't even give a fuck. Straight forward.
Yeah, that's it.
Straight forward. No messing around.
Right, if I ever run, I will hire him for sure.
I'm telling you now. On the 7th of May is the last day to register to vote as well. So if you haven't registered to vote, it's extremely important to register to vote. Go on to registermyvote.ie. All the information there, the application forms there. You have to get stamped off a Garda, and then you're eligible to vote. So if you've just turned 18, make sure you've done this. Or if you're a resident in Ireland and you've never registered to vote, make sure you do, because what happens is that a lot of people voting is traditional in that family, you know what I mean? And if you don't vote, like your dad makes sure you vote, they make sure you're registered, all of this stuff, they make a day out of going out and voting. And what happens in areas like, I find, like say working class areas, is that sometimes you might wake up and it's like, oh fuck, I'm too hungover to vote today, you know what I mean? Where that can't be it. Voting must be like taking a shit. Yeah. It's coming up, you feel it, and you have to do it. It's just the way it is. If you don't vote, what you're doing is you're wasting your expression to say anything. If you don't say, if you don't vote, and then anything happens after this, shut up, say nothing. You're not allowed, right? Because you had your chance. You had a chance to say something. You had a chance to make a vote, make a point, and stand towards it. 18% of people around my area came out last time and voted. Yeah, and in areas outside my area, you're talking about 80%. So we're not in a situation where we're the minority in a country. We're in a situation where the minority voters in a country. So if you're not voting, let me tell you, there's somebody sitting somewhere in probably a higher class than you, and they're saying you're a mug, and they're laughing, and they're finding it funny that you would just waste your vote in a way. And listen, I would have never looked at it like this as well until I started looking at this. and I'm one of these people, and I'm going to tell you, I'm one of these people that if something better comes change, I was probably always the guy, I won't say the technical guy, but I was always trying to develop shit when we were fighting and stuff like that. Same way, it's like a disease or a streak in you or something. I'm always trying to develop a more efficient way, a better way, where I feel this place can run a lot better than it is already. It's ridiculous what's going on in this country, and I'd say it over and over again. Some guy sent me an email about me giving out about the bankers, right? Now this is mental, I know, yeah. Like, but he said to me, like, you don't understand, and I understand where you're coming from, and do you know what the mad thing is? Probably Chris Fields would have this view as well on it, and I slightly did for about a week or two, then researched them on and said no. So in this country we have we have a corporate tax rate of 12%, right? So I pay that in my company, and I pay the PRSI for my employees. But then as an employee myself, I pay my own PRSI as well. But a lot of it, there's 10 top companies, like Starbucks is one of them, that doesn't pay tax in the country or pays 1%. And the worst thing about it was some of these companies, these big major companies, have not only not paid tax, they've got tax back off the Irish government, alright? Now, I do understand that they employ a huge amount of people and a huge amount of PRSI and a huge amount of VAT. But let me tell you one thing. Ireland is one of the lowest tax rates for corporate companies in Europe. The European Union, the French, all of these countries have been like giving out to Ireland. They'd be like me, say if we are personal trainers in the gym and you're charging 20 quid and I'm charging 40 quid. That's what Ireland's basically doing. We are that of Europe at the moment.
I'm surprised that Ireland managed to hold on to that, but that's a big advantage.
Huge.
Like all them Google, Facebook, that's why they're here.
Yes.
And it's great. I mean, it's great for Irish economy to have them here at the lower, tax, because like you said, they do bring in jobs and, they contribute to economy in other ways. Okay, they don't pay as much corporate tax, but they pay in other ways, like you said, providing jobs, and the tax is heavy here already, the PRSI tax. So,
But what I feel in this situation, right, is that the negotiations, like we have advertisements saying, come to Ireland, there's zero tax.
Yeah.
Come to Ireland. Like even Donald Trump was slagging us off, saying, you know what I mean? So going over to Ireland, there's no tax being paid over there. The situation that this leaves us in, right, is that a lot of profit outside countries is not being charged in that country. So people are saying, right, hold on. We have to employ somebody in Ireland, and that's their profit, and they're moving money to Ireland. So money's coming to Ireland, and it's in a position where we get to have it here. Now there's a wealth tax as well, which is 1%. Some parties want to put this to 10%, which is mental. Right? I agree that as well. So we're not all about like, listen, you have money, you better give it to the poor. If you've worked your way up and made money, fair enough. But there is going to be there are always going to be altercations if you make money on the way up. That's the way it works. But some of the banks, what's happening is that they're paying no tax in the country, and what'll happen is they're keeping the country under ransom in a way, right? So you have businesses that are getting bigger than governments, and that's what's happening, because if you let so many companies into your country and rely a lot of the infrastructure and a lot of the money on the factor that these corporations are set up in your country, and we better do what they say, we better not upset them and all. These boys are then walking around like they own the place in a way. They're bigger than governments.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, well, it's a very tricky situation, especially for a place like Ireland, let's say. Yeah, there's no oil here. There's no really... Ireland doesn't really produce that many things, So this is the main kind of thing that they have. They have a big educated workforce that speaks English, which is absolutely huge for all these companies, But let's say if you put the tax up too much for them, then what is stopping them? And already many of them are doing it, moving to Poland, where people also speak English. They have to pay way less wages, and if the corporate tax is the same, they'll just do that, and then you're losing all of these companies. And then what have you got then? Like, where are people going to be working then?
No, we do.
So it's it's a very dangerous kind of area, to do. And just in general, politics and anything on a bigger scale is always very dangerous to do. I remember like somebody telling me even a story which is like non-related to this, but I remember what's his name, the Microsoft guy, the owner of Microsoft, Bill Gates. Yeah, Bill Gates. He does a lot of like philanthropy, a lot of like he helps people around the world, and he started investing, let's say like into let's say even like cancer or something, like, and started donating a lot of money. And what was started to happen, I can't remember if it was cancer or not, but just let's say for the argument's sake, it's cancer, and started investing a lot of money into that. So then there was more and more doctors, doing that because that's where the money was going, and other areas started getting shortages of doctors, and there was not enough doctors to treat other diseases and stuff. So here was a thing, that purely good thing that he tried to do, to invest, and that good thing caused some of the drawbacks that weren't so good. So you always have to be very careful when you doing things on such a big scale, because you think, okay, I just up the tax a little bit, and you up tax by 5%, and then tomorrow you're after all these companies moved out to Poland, and you're after losing fucking 10,000 jobs, and then what? You know what I mean? Then what are we gonna do?
We feel that we kind of come into a situation where we're actually going forward then, Artem, you know what I mean? In a way, like, because the system is set up now where it's like, right, it is great for a while, but it's going to change, and we mightn't have a chance on it. We mightn't have the control of that.
Yeah.
So say if Donald Trump get in the next election and he becomes the president again, and then he decides to pass a law that companies in Ireland now have to pay tax, or companies outside America, that make profit, that are registered in America, now have to pay tax.
Yeah.
Them companies are going to bail out them countries anyway because it's not beneficial anymore. And all of a sudden, we don't have a decision then. We don't have that decision. These companies just pull out of Ireland and we get no lubrication, if you must, you know what I mean? And then we end up in a situation. So we're kind of in a situation where we are on an island. We're segregated from Europe, but we're on the edge of the island. We have control of our own land in that way, if you must. And I know you said about oil and stuff like that. We actually do have oil, but we sold the motherfucking stuff. You know what I mean? The wind farming, this is another thing I think Ireland should be massively into looking at.
Definitely.
The wind farming and all of these ways of creating power for the rest of Europe and selling it to them. And with the farming and all of these produce that we do, but what we do is we sell ourselves short. We let people in, and when these companies and big, huge organisations, and as I said, in Ireland, we're taking away our pride. And I'm not saying putting the tax up. All I'm saying is pay the tax that's actually there. Yeah, and they're like, so it's 12%. If you look at the map, there's a map and it has Ireland over here at 12%, and all of the other countries are like brown, up to 20, up to 30%. As I said, France's wealth tax is 2%. So just money sitting there, you pay 2% on that. So we're in a situation where Ireland is already awesome. But what happened is the negotiations went terrible. We sent somebody in, and like I don't know about you, but I know from dealing with, say, business now and contracts for the next little while, if you send the guy to do a contract for you or do negotiations for you, they'll try to grease him. They'll grease him to come back and grease you, basically. So if we had, like, say, these people, and people say back in the 80s they came, and like this guy as well, same email, he came back to me and said, like, in the 80s they came and saved us, alright? These companies. From who? The bleeding the Christian Brothers, because that was the only thing we were getting saved from in the 80s. And I don't know about like when like say my areas and stuff like that. My areas weren't saved in the 80s. My areas were built in 1979. There was no amenities around. There was no shops, no guard stations. People were bleeding walking to town they were to get like groceries, and so there was no planning on the idea of when this came in, you know. Now, and I believe now is the time that we can actually like. The government that's in there now showing us what their true colours are. They don't really care about the idea of the growth even in the middle class anymore. Like they want the houses to keep rising, they want the rents to keep rising. And
yeah, that's mental, like the rent here.
And this is being a structured market as like hold back the houses so the demand grows. So supply and demand is being happening. If we took control of this country, so to me it might like and people always, if Sinn Féin got into the main power in a general election in this country, I think a lot of stuff changes. I think even the face of Sinn Féin has changed. It's a lot younger. It's a lot more thinking, more the idea of it's developed, if you must. And I think if we go in, if Sinn Féin goes in to change this country, it's the first time, as I said, in 100 years that a new brain is in here. And all of these companies are being kind of negotiated again, renegotiated. But hold on, listen, this is a good country. You have an educated workforce. It would be a pride against their nation, or it would be a dint against their pride for us to let you come in here and say, we're not paying any tax. Shut up. We run this place. We employ all them people. So be quiet, basically, in a way. I don't think that's right. I think with such a good workforce, such a good country to run a company in already, with the taxes, with the workforce, with the landscape, and the help from the government. They like a lot of governments interact with like big companies like this. They're just kind of like, you know what I mean? You're the company, and if you want to be here, you better impress us if you must.
Yeah, it is a kind of difficult situation, like I said. And to me, a good politician, for example, who I see as a good politician, to me, obviously, of course, honest, all that, you know, that's one thing. But the main thing is, it has to be a person that is good at selecting people and is good at like listening to getting the right advice. You know what I mean? You yourself will not be able to know everything. You know, you won't be able to know. Like even I did finance, for example. My knowledge of like the financial and economics is very, very basic. You know what I mean? But you should be able to select the right people. Okay, listen to their advice, and also make sure that you always hear the both sides. Always listen to the best argument from the other side as well. Always, because you might seem, oh yeah, everything seems right there, but no, let's listen to the other side as well, and then and then make your decision on that. And to me, all the politicians, they should have scientists beside them making all decisions for them. The politicians should just be the face, and it should be a known fact that look, the brains are these guys. They are the guys that are deciding. We as politicians just say it to the people, wear the face or whatever, but we have these guys that are extremely smart, that have spent their whole life on the subject. They know every possible in and out, they know every possible way. We're taking their advice and then bringing it to you people. That's what I would like to see from my politicians, you know what I mean? That are in charge of, let's say, the country that I'm living in, you know?
Do you think we get that mind from development through something that's just like probably one of the hardest sports to develop in, full rounded, which is... Do you think that
I don't know, probably. I mean, yeah, that's just approach, I think, generally in life. Like, you know,
but
when
you're
you
humble enough to be able to go and fix yourself in different
because people understand it all the time. You know what I mean? When you get a sore leg, you don't go to an electrician with your sore leg. You know to go to a doctor. Why you go there? Because you know he's a specialist. Because he's seen a million legs. So when you decide whether to raise the tax or not, go to the fucking guy and that spent his whole life learning the fucking tax and ask him his opinion. You know what I mean? And then find the same guy that also spent the whole life but wants different things done, and listen why he wants to do different, and then kind of put him in a room together, let them debate, and you there be present and listen to both sides, and then make your decision based on that. But I want to see those guys, in charge. I want to see the fucking scientists, the doctors. I want them in charge of the decisions, not a fucking, guys just off the street. You know what I mean?
This is what happens. If you look at ministers in most countries, that's exactly what happens. It's like you've got a shoulder doctor being a leg doctor, and you like the way you're saying it there. So. Say when the idea came to negotiate these companies in Ireland and stuff like that, like, imagine who was sitting there that day negotiating that. Yeah. You probably had a lad that probably could have dropped out of school.
But I don't understand why any party doesn't hire fucking scientists. Get rid of all this riffraff that you have. There's no need for them. Doesn't matter. Okay, you need the face guy, has to be like kind of popular with the people, has to be people's person, has to be likable. That's fine. But I want to know that the guys behind him, that the things that he is saying is not just coming from his mind, but it's coming from fucking a room full of scientists that have told him, look, this is the best way to do it. Now you just say it to the people. That's what I want to know.
No,
why no party has all the scientists working for them? Why is there fucking God knows who, in the politics? You know what I mean? It shouldn't be like that. I want to see scientists. If some party came out now and said, look, guys, we have this guy, he is running for it, but we have this 20 fucking scientists, all over the world. They're the ones working for us. They're the guys I would vote for. That's the party I'm voting for.
So the idea with so you're on about, like, so to say, the minister for finance being somebody that obviously is being backed
by a million fucking finance guys, you know what I mean? But the best guys in the country that are finance guys, and let's reward them. You know what I mean? Let's reward them for doing things for the country. Because now those guys, those scientists, some of them, these companies are smart and they're picking them up and they're doing work for them and they're rewarding them for that. So why not? I want them working for the country.
At the moment, we have ministers that have been kind of failed in other positions and just being moved to different positions, which is...
That's crazy.
That's mental. Like, imagine a guy in a gym saying a boxing coach that wasn't a boxing coach, and then they made him a wrestling coach, and then they made him a different. Everyone would be standing there going, "What the fuck is going on here?" Man.
So one thing worse than everything else are cheaters.
PEDs. Sorry,
That's one thing I was gonna bring it up, because that's not good. Because the thing is, what I don't like about cheating now, the way it is done. Let's take the TJ fucking thing. I will be on his case till, because I don't agree with this 2-year ban. You know what I mean?
No.
Why? Let's say you rob a house, right? You rob a house. They, number one, make you give everything back. But even when you give everything back, you still have to get punished for it now, right? Because to get punished means you have to be worse off before you committed the crime. So the same thing with PEDs. When TJ fought not clean, number one thing we should take everything away that he gained while fighting not clean. Yep. Like we would if somebody robbed the house. And then when we took everything away, now we have to punish him. Because when you take everything away from a guy that robbed the house, he still goes to prison. He is getting punished. He's going to be worse off than he was before he committed the crime. It has to be the same with TJ. He has to be, by the end of the sentence, worse off than he was before he committed the crime. And just giving him 2 years will not achieve that. Because he is now going to be enjoying a holiday for the next 2 years, still taking the juice, getting even stronger, even faster, and enjoying the money that he earned. And what happens to Cody? Who is going to reward Cody for the additional risk that he took in that fight? Fair enough, at the time we didn't know, but now we do know that he took the additional risk. So he should be rewarded for it. You know what I mean? Number one, he didn't get his winning bonus. Number 2, he got knocked out. Number 3, like his whole career took a huge dip. He should be now fighting top fights. He should be considered the best guy in the world now, fighting the super fights. Instead, he's on the 3 knockout losses in a row, and that's all due to
And he
PEDs.
probably never recover from it.
Yeah,
like
and that's all due to PEDs. So who is gonna, pay him for that? Who is gonna, how is he gonna get rewarded for that? He should be.
I said this. So I said this when a retirement statement. I posted this and I made sure I put this into it. People were like, "That was a bit weird. You put that in it," and I was like, "I have to retire because of a situation of a blood disorder that affects me. Doesn't affect anybody else. Doesn't pass on to anybody else. Or like that. But then you have lads that are doing PEDs and stuff like that, and all they do is get bans and they'll fight again. I remember writing that in that because even then." That was a problem in this, and people would have been like, "What you mean? Look at all the boys that disappeared and all. Like, the whole game changed when the USADA came."
And even still, people. It turns out they weren't even testing for EPO. EPO is.
Were they not?
No, they weren't testing for it. Like even Dana, he was in the interview. Somebody told him, and he couldn't believe it. The one fucking thing I would test people for is EPO, and to me, that's a huge shock. How is that not a known? Especially with Jeff Nowitzki in charge. EPO, that's his fucking thing. That's the number one drug that we get. That drug that gives you cardio. You know what I mean? That makes you not tired. That is the number one thing that I would test for. Right now, what they should do is, and they should use, let's say, now they caught TJ, fucking fine him like fuck, take all the money that he earned while cheating, give half of it to Cody, and the other half should be used to retest all the samples for EPO.
Yes.
And let's see who was on it or who not. That's my only hope, right?
Keep the samples,
when they freeze all those samples, that's my hope, that one day they'll have this special testing kit that will be able to show who was on the juice and who wasn't. We'll retest everybody, and then we'll see who was really fucking fighting and who was cheating.
Who was cheating.
That's my only hope. That's my fucking one hope, as a clean fighter, because I see it's so fucking frustrating, and people don't realize just how much of an advantage that gives you. It's literally, it's the difference between winning and losing.
100%. Listen, I can tell you that, like, and you know that straight, and I know that from deep down my own bones and stuff like that. I feel like any loss I've had on my record was to do because that little glump. Like, I've never been flying and then lost.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? The glump.
And it's crazy because it is, some people like, oh no, it's the same as bringing a weapon in, and some people say, oh no, it's not the same as bringing a weapon in. Yes, it is the same as bringing a knife in with you. What is a weapon? A weapon is something that allows you to do more damage than you would without anything. Do PEDs do that? Yes, they fucking do. They allow you to do inhumane damage. Imagine you've trained, like done a full camp, and you are so fit, you're so strong, you're feeling the strongest, the fittest ever, and then somebody, all they do is do whoop, this, and suddenly you go even faster, you go even stronger. Well, now you're not human anymore because you had reached your human potential and something took you beyond that. Yeah. Now you're not a human. You're not human fighting other humans, and that is not fair. There is no room, there's no honor in it, there's no... I hate this people talk about honor and this and respect. If you're a juice head, if you use juice, you don't know what honor is. You don't know what respect is. You don't know what martial art respect is. Don't fucking talk to me about this, the warrior way and all this. You haven't got a clue what it is. You don't have the right to say those words, and that's it.
Even
that's
the mental aspect of it, the aspect of looking over at somebody else, like, and when it does come to it, you're always saying to yourself, like, no, I'm better at this. I've got an advantage here. So you're always trying to fix your mind in a way of like, well, I'm better here. And you know what I mean? And not only so, but then all of a sudden you put a drug in and you're 100% sure that he doesn't have the drug in him. Yeah. So
it's huge.
That up is huge. Especially in them moments that you're saying, especially that TJ fight and the first few moments was that.
Fully down to the PEDs. Without PEDs, it would have been completely different fight. Completely different fight, 100%. And to me, when some people say, oh, because people don't really, I always get that weird feeling from many people that they don't kind of take it as serious. Okay, PEDs, many people do it, so what? No. Okay, now think about it. When you're deciding what to do to PED guy, imagine your child that you've seen train his or her butt off every day in, day out, struggle, suffer, sweat and tears, everything, go through this, and then somebody just, cheating them out of their medal, out of their fucking place, just cheating them out of it, just because they injected something, just like that's easy, not doing anything, not work. And then when that's not enough, now imagine, not only did they cheat them him out of it, but in the process, they also did irreversible damage to your child. They knocked your child out just with cheating. You know what I mean? Just by cheating. Not with nothing fair, but by cheating. How would you feel about a person like that? What would you want done to that person?
So what happens in an example, right? Somebody goes in, EPO, stuff like that, and kills somebody, say, in a sport. You know what I mean?
And that could very easily happen. Very easily happen.
Like, because if a flight goes down, or there's a problem with a plane, and something like that, like the guy that's guiding that plane and the pilot, and everyone gets drug tested, and everybody gets alcohol tested, all of these levels of tests, and then all of a sudden, like they're like criminally obliged, responsible for that.
And they will be, exactly, and they will be charged. And that's my main thing is like, how they are not punishing these people. A year or 2 years suspension, that's not fucking punishment. Punishment means that you have to be worse off than you were before you committed that crime. So for TJ to be worse off, all the money needs to be like, test all his samples back, and whichever is the first clean sample, all the other fights that he fought, majority, all that money needs to be taken away from him, and then some. That's punishment. Then that will make the other person stop not doing it. Because right now, what is there stopping them? Yeah, I'll take it, and if I get caught, I have to sit out for a year. But if I win, I get the belt, I get the fucking money, the fame, and all the other things that comes with it. Yeah. Of course you're gonna fucking cheat.
And I think as a fighter, you would be absolutely longing, especially at his level in a career, for 2 years off. Do you get what I mean?
That's like, 2 fights.
Yeah,
at his level, that's 2 fights.
2 years off, right, after being fighting for that long. Like, I remember you saying about Paddy. You said on the Delve, which was a really good interview with Mike Sheridan. The idea of Paddy has to reach down inside him now and start up that, hello, are you ready? This is the real shit. I was breaking me bollocks down. That was brilliant. It was, right? Yeah. But can you imagine the idea of somebody having to do that with, like, after 2 years, like, off? They get 2 years off. Yeah. And they get this chill and say, right, when I come back, they get to look at the scene, they get to look at the people.
And now, did you not see what he done? He went out and got all the surgeries in his body, TJ. He done his shoulder, and he needs a year to recover anyway. So you just gave him a fucking holiday, you know what I mean, and recover. He's just going to come back better and
when
stronger.
He's banned, is he tested?
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure. Probably not. Let's be honest. Like, let's be fucking realistic. You know what I mean? And even if they do, they won't really, because it all comes down to funding. You know, there's no money in catching people, and there's a lot of money in cheating. So it's always, going to be, they're always going to be ahead.
The idea of these people, so say they lie in their bed at night, or they're talking to their grandkids years to come from now. Like how the fucking Lance Armstrong look at his kids in the eye, you know what I mean? Like we were talking about kids and legacy before this and stuff like that. Like, like imagine standing there saying to your kid, like, you wouldn't even know whether your advice you were giving to your kid was correct, because you'd be saying to him, like, you gotta work hard, and see when it gets hard, you just gotta dig deeper, and you gotta this, and it will be alright, and there will be hard times, but then when you come through them, that's the glory of it. Like, what do you sit around and, like, after a little while, when your kid gets to 18 years of age, you say, yeah, come here, man, I tell you, there's this injection you take, and this is like, is that what you do? Do you pass that into your legacy?
Exactly, and then they have to, because for especially for many sports, and for example, I don't know how the state of cycling now, but back when he was competing, that was the fucking case. If you had an honest kid, let's say, that just works his ass off, just never stops, you see him every day, he's like, Dad, why am I not winning? Why am I not winning? What do you tell the kid? You know what I mean? What are you gonna tell this kid? You know what I mean? You're like, he has no chance unless he cheats. He has no chance. So what kind of example does that set for his life, for his future? What kind of person is gonna grow up when he knows that the sport that he has chosen, he cannot achieve anything unless he cheats? Nothing.
Well, I tell you about political cheating. Some political cheating. When you hear this, right? When you're putting up the posters, right, there's a certain date that you get to put them up on. But some parties stuck them up, right, with a coffee morning sticker on them, right, saying that this was for a coffee morning, right? So they were up a week before everybody else's, right?
Right.
And then when it comes to the date that you're allowed to do things, all they do is take the sticker off for the coffee morning, and the poster is already up, right? So think of it like this, right? If you're listening to what I'm saying, I know this is a small thing, but think of it like this. If we're on a starting line, and we're all at the shaking hands, and we're all agreeing that we're going to make a break for it, and we're going to try and get elected and try and change the play, everything. You know what I mean? These guys have already found a loophole that allows them to start above the finish line, because they're not like us. They don't see us like this. They get to start ahead of us, all right? So if they're going to do that when it comes to hanging posters on lampposts, let me tell you every single thing that happens after that point. So anybody that had their posters up before that, you're a snake. And that's how it works. Get up and put your posters on the right time, play by the rules. If you're finding loopholes for coffee mornings or whatever, because you don't hold...
And I tell you straight away, for people, any poster that was up there like this with the coffee morning poster on it, don't vote for them. They're already cheating you. They're already fucking cheating. So what's going to happen when they are in power? You think they're going to change? No, now the green light. Let's go.
Yeah,
because it'll be coffee morning for you every fucking day.
Yeah, you'll be eating coffee for breakfast in a bowl. That's the way it'll be for energy. Bowls of coffee. But think about it like this as well, right? How many of these coffee mornings for these councillors at these parties have you ever seen putting up an airhousing estate before this? Never! They don't come by. They don't drop by. They don't come and have coffee mornings with us. The reason why the poster was up, because they found a loophole that they could cheat and go above the line and go beyond for everyone else and find the best places on the polls and stuff like that. You, my friend, are the snake. Yeah? Here's... we finish on this. I want to say that I am proud to say that I never in my whole career, you could lie detector test me on this, and I'm sure you could with Artem as well, seeing one of our teammates do drugs.
Yeah,
never in my life. No. We came up in an environment where drugs were non-existent. There wasn't a little...
I think it's a team thing as well, because once everyone is the same mindset, then anybody, won't be any room for them cheats, you know what I mean? Because everybody is not on that vibe. I can imagine what it's like, you know, a lot of people talked about like kind of in Brazil it being like very acceptable, you know, it's like it's sold in pharmacies, so they don't see it as a bad thing anymore. So imagine if you're in that environment and you're a kid, it's probably going to be hard not to do it because you just see everyone does it. It's sold in the shops. It's very normal thing. You just think it's everyone does it. So if you're a kid like that watching somewhere, no, not everyone is like that. There's no, you know, it's not good to cheat. There's no honor in that. Don't fucking cheat. Just do it the right way, and that's it. Trust me, you know, your turn will come.
There's very few men that you will find with actually true honor and the true guys that actually back up what they say, and that's Artem. So that's some quality advice there.
Can I just say one thing before you finish up? One of the coolest things that I liked about your fight was your shorts, the color scheme, the black and the
gold,
yellow and the gold.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration behind that?
Actually, the inspiration was my sponsor. That's the truth. My sponsor was the inspiration. Parimatch, you know, they sponsor me, so they made a kit out, you know, for me, and it looked good, you know, it looked slick. So
it was very Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, it looked good. I really liked the way it looked, but that's their colors, and that was the inspiration. But I really liked it, you know. So
last little bit, what are you going to do about the bare knuckle boxing now? Because obviously boys are probably going to be bleeding open on that now. That has to
it's you know it's kind of it's one thing, it's you know it's really dangerous in our sport, the PEDs, because you know you could kill somebody, but it is also our sport is one of the probably few sports where even if you're an honest guy fighting a guy who is like juiced out of their mind, you can still beat them. And Henry Cejudo showed that, you know, recently. He knocked out that fucking Gigi, the juice head.
And he's a weight above him, you know.
Exactly. So he showed that, but still, you know, but that's one of the beauties of our sport. So to me, I don't give a fuck. Juice as much as you want. If you need that to walk in there with me, I don't care. I would obviously like them all exposed down the line and, you know, put back in their place, but to me, I don't care. Give them whatever you want. When I fight, I don't give a fuck what they have. I'm there to have a knock with whoever. So
fucking legend. He's a legend. That was Artem Lobov. Make sure you follow Bare Knuckle Boxing, follow his career coming up, and especially the fight with Paddy McInerney. Buy that pay-per-view. Don't go on any of them streams or that like that. Buy it twice, alright? Because it's the same way as like being an independent artist with an album, yeah? These guys get paid from fighting, and this is it. And Artem's at the fighting away. This is pretty fair for everybody. He gets in and fights like fuck. We pay for it, we watch it, and then we enjoy it. This is a fair deal. Welcome to No Shame. Look after yourself.